Hello folks. To be honest, I don't know what we are in front of. Is it a stream? Part of a lake? A river? I truly don't know. This part of the country has so many different bending, winding lakes and rivers, all part of the same, or a few watersheds. And they have these smaller lakes and streams and rivers that come out of these existing lakes and streams and rivers that it's hard to keep track of what is part of what. What I do know though is that we are no longer in the state of Tennessee. Bye-bye, volunteer state. We are now in our 20th state. Can you believe it? 20 states. Unbelievable. I remember when we just had only 4 or 5 states under our belt, but now this is state number 20. 40% of the states already covered. But yeah, welcome to Kentucky, the Bluegrass State. We will be in this wonderful state for the next several days, so we'll get to see plenty of what Kentucky has to offer. But what do you think of Kentucky when you hear of Kentucky? I'm sure everybody has heard of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Of course, world famous bourbon comes from the state of Kentucky. But what else? Maybe you've heard of the Kentucky Derby, where all the horses race. It's a big sporting event. Maybe you think of the landscape. Although we are still in the Appalachian Mountains, we're in more of the western foothills now. No longer do you see these big towering mountains, but it's pretty hilly, especially in this part of the state. We are in the Bluegrass State, so maybe you think of Kentucky bluegrass music, a lot of Appalachian folk music from the bluegrass genre. And then of course, the actual Kentucky bluegrass that you see, from football fields to just nice manicured lawns, that is Kentucky bluegrass. So maybe you think of that. You might think of its, oh, almost slipped there into the stream there. Maybe you think of the Southern heritage. It was not part of the Confederacy, but it does share a lot of Southern culture, like a lot of similar states around it. But yeah, Kentucky. It's not the deep South, but it's more the inland South, but you still get a lot of that cultural charm from a state like Kentucky. Trying to be careful as I navigate this strange bed of rocks along the bank. But yeah, I'm trying to do my best to show you what this general area of Kentucky looks like. We are in the southeast part of Kentucky, what's known as Daniel Boone country, and it was here that the first settlers coming in from the Cumberland Gap made their way into the state. This was, I guess, the first part of Kentucky that was developed. We're actually in the very outskirts of the Daniel Boone National Forest. Once again, gotta be careful of these sharp rocks. Safety is our goal here on the coverage project, but I also want to show you these great sights. This part of Kentucky is not very populated compared to the likes of Louisville and Lexington, but it is pretty important, and you'll get to know why we are here today in a small town called Corbin, Kentucky. Believe me, folks, we are in for a grand old treat today. I am super excited to go to a place that many people might not have heard about in Kentucky. As I said, Corbin, Kentucky is a very small town, but it holds, I'd say, a lot of significance in Kentucky's history, and more importantly, culinary history. So yeah, shall we start our adventure here in the grand old little town of Corbin, Kentucky? I think we should. So, we're here at the town center, and it's basically like your old small town center. Nothing much going on. It's a small town, Corbin. So, Corbin, Kentucky is probably a nice little small town. I don't know how the economic activity's going, but that doesn't matter. The reason we are here is to honor and pay our respects to this man right here. The man, the myth. Well, no, not a myth. He was a real person. People knew him. But the man, the legend, Colonel Harland Sanders. a jolly fellow this man is. At least from the way it looks on the statue. You may recognize this man from the thousands of chicken restaurants, not only in the country, but around the world. This man is an international icon. And the town of Corbin really takes pride in him. After all, he spent many a year here in Corbin cooking up chicken for the locals in the first restaurant that he owned. This is way before the world knew about his chicken with the 11 herbs and spices. Usually in this world, success is only attained as the end result of a multitude of hardships in life. And this was definitely the case for Harland Sanders. Growing up, he had to take care of his family after his father died, and then he had to work a multitude of jobs just to support and make ends meet. Some of these jobs included working on a farm or working for a railroad company. Eventually, he got into the chicken business, the food business. For his first restaurant, he didn't only serve chicken, he served a lot of down-home country meals, chicken included. His first restaurant, if you can call it that, burned down in a fire. He rebuilt it as a better-looking restaurant and motel, and the rest, as you know it, is history. He opened his small little business open to a franchise model, and from there the idea of this Kentucky Fried Chicken spread like wildfire across the country over the coming decades. The first actual KFC is in Utah, but I mean, come on, it's Kentucky Fried Chicken. You don't want to go to Utah to have KFC. You want to go to Kentucky to try the original thing. And luckily for us, the latter restaurant is preserved right here in Corbin, Kentucky. So with that said, let's take our visit to the Colonel Harland Sanders Cafe and Museum. Thank you, good sir, for the chicken, the service, and your legacy. We all thank you from here in the Coverage Project to you. Wow, they are really turning this into a mighty fine tourist attraction. But as you can tell, the general shape of their original restaurant, of course through restoration, has been preserved. Isn't this so cool though? There are thousands of KFCs all around the world, in the most remote places you might expect, in so many different countries. And yet this, you could consider the first in the world. Right here in Corbin, Kentucky. If there was ever to be a patron saint of fried chicken, oh, you know, Colonel Sanders, he's the guy. Oh, would you look at that? Thank you for your patience. The expanded and upgraded experience is almost complete. Dining room and museum opening soon? Ah, what a shame. That means we can't go inside. Yeah, that just blows, man. Luckily for us, though, hope is not lost. As you can see behind us, there is a drive-through where instead of going in the restaurant if they felt like it on a normal day, they could just whip around in their car and get a nice KFC meal. It may save time, but I prefer going in. And you think of American culture, American food, what do you think of? Maybe the burger, maybe apple pie, but you also think of fried chicken maybe. Fried chicken may just be the most iconic Southern food there is. And we've never gone to a KFC here on the Coverage Project. This may just be the perfect location to try some nice Kentucky Fried Chicken. What do you think, guys? There's so much on the KFC menu. I think we gotta go for the bucket of chicken. I don't think I've ever had a bucket of chicken from KFC in my life. I've had things from KFC, but never the big bucket of chicken they always advertise. I think we gotta do it for the Coverage Project's sake. Hi, can I get a 12-piece bucket of chicken?
You want chicken only or you want the meal?
Just the chicken.
Anything else for you today?
That'll be it. You hear the term iconic American landmark and you might think Statue of Liberty, Golden Gate Bridge, the Alamo maybe, the White House, first KFC. I bet that's what you were thinking. But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this Nice bucket of chicken. Never bought the entire bucket, and now I can take this home as a souvenir that I went to the first KFC, that we shared this moment together on the coverage project. To prove it to you all, I literally bought the thing. All 12 pieces right there, full of finger-looking good crispiness. And yes, I did it for the meme, but I also did it because this KFC is an iconic American landmark, like I said, and Kentucky Fried Chicken continues to be what the world thinks of America in terms of its food. So it's wonderful that we can check off KFC on our list of fast food restaurants across America. So, with a bucket of fried chicken in my hand, in front of the first Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant here in Corbin, Kentucky. More travels to come. I will see you at the next location. Thank you, Colonel Sanders, an American hero.